much fun was tonight?
It was a lot of fun, but there's you're still your mind's not necessarily thinking that way for the full 60 minutes. But obviously the last 7 seconds, but even that, there's 3 seconds, they got a Hail Mary off. You're still, I've been through enough of these to wait until that clock hits 0 to be excited. So, but listen, I love doing this. I've been doing it for such a long time. When you're out there with the guys and you're doing what you want to do and you're having success and you can look in each other's eyes and just you get that feeling, of bonding with somebody else, and just it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot more fun when that clock hits 0 and you've gotten the job done.
Before you got here, obviously you probably knew how good Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins were just from when you played in Cleveland and being a fan of the game. But does a game like tonight, when you see what Ja'Marr did and then what T was able to do, did that just open your eyes? Like, these guys are even better than I thought? Yeah,
last week it opened my eyes. Just with the simple things, not the fact that they went for 800 yards, obviously, but you could see it. And then today, what I got to see was just how a defense has to treat those guys. And if you don't treat them a certain way, they can hurt you. And if you do treat them a certain way, well, maybe we have some other guys that can get the job done. So today, I think I got to see just the problems they create in general. Last week, I said it earlier this week. Last week, we didn't do anything crazy, but you could see those guys are different. And it's pretty cool to be able to throw it to them.
You ever thrown to a guy 23 times? I mean,
you tell me. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, you kept going.
Well, we threw the ball 47 times and probably dropped back a couple more. And I mean, I think he ended up. I mean, look, at the end of the first half, we just out route. It was. I don't think it was anything crazy. Pretty simple stuff underneath, getting them one-on-one. That's how we drew it up, and it worked out.
Well, when did you've ever run a ball, a read option like that?
Yeah, that really was kind of more of a broken play. We just didn't line up right, and it wasn't really a true read option. But I've done a few of those early. Probably my first 3 years, I did a few of those, like in certain situations. But it's been a while, and it kind of just happened. It just happened. So I was like, all right, now how can I find somewhere to get down and not get taken out by one of these guys?
It was like a broken play. It was
a little bit, yeah.
Kind of like your first touchdown in the league.
That's right.
In your 9 or 10 days here, when did you realize that you could have this successful of an offensive game like this quickly?
You're not thinking about it in that sense. I mean, I think you're always wanting to go do that, but I think what being here in this situation has done for me is it allows you to recalibrate and not worry about those things. It allows you to just focus on the basics, and it's a good reminder that doing that is what leads to success and consistency. So I think the bigger thing going forward is just continuing to remind myself of that.
Zach said you had some issues with maybe his accent when he was trying to.
Well, yeah, it's just like some of these words are so new to me, and when you don't get a chance, I honestly felt like this week was probably a little bit harder than last week, just because it's such a short week. You're still putting in a full game plan. You don't get to hear the play as much. So there were certain things with and I can picture everything, but there's certain things with formations and things like that you're hearing for the first couple times. And even though you've read the play a million times, when you hear it, it just wasn't hitting my brain right. So there was a few of those, and we were joking on the sideline. Anytime that happened and we broke the play and we broke the huddle, and it was I don't know if we're right here. I mean, that play hit. So we got lucky tonight in that sense.
What did you see on the last throw to T?
Now they played one-on-one. The safety didn't really. Maybe he was cheating his way a little bit, but not really. And I knew I had a conversion to him, and it was a chance to basically end the game. I feel like they were kind of playing back shoulders, so the one adjustment I made there was maybe just throw it up a little bit more and let him kind of bend into it if he gets by him, and I think he got a good release, so I could kind of see that throw happening, as I was doing it.
So you weren't here for that bulk of the 4-game losing streak. Could you sense what this win meant? The teammates who'd gone through that?
Oh, for sure. That was an awesome sideline, an awesome locker room after the game. But at the same time, you got to give those guys a lot of credit. It's not easy to lose 4 straight games and keep your head into it. So the fact that they've been able to do this and get to the point where we got tonight and beat a good football team is also impressive.
Along those lines, Joe, it's one win, but given the fact that against that defense in this environment, can you see the potential of what this team, especially offensively, is capable of?
Yeah, you sure hope so. You hope you can come in here and play well, and you always want to, like, especially when you get guys that are good at playing football, you want to go show them, like, hey man, like, we're going to be able to do some good things, and you hope that they feel that way. But now to go out there and have done it for like the last 6 quarters, I think it's going to give us a lot of confidence, and hopefully we can carry that over and use it to our advantage.
Even though you've only been here for a short amount of time, what's given you so much trust in big situations that Ja'Marr and T?
I think I told you early on when I got here, if you can't throw to guys, if you can't get on the same page with those kind of guys, then, what are you doing? They're pretty special. So they're, you can kind of read their body language, and they get open. So it's easier to throw to.
Zach told us how much time he spent with you last week. Has he done anything that you could share that's maybe really helped simplify things for you so quickly, or what is your impression of Zach and the way he's worked with you to get you up to speed?
I think the biggest thing is he's been patient, so even like things like tonight where maybe I wasn't hearing it right and wasn't calling it completely right for a handful of plays. It wasn't like he was getting bothered by it. He worked with me, and he was patient with me, and he allowed me to just go play football. And I think he saw that even though maybe this one little thing was off, that I was able to just forget about it once the ball was snapped. So I would say just that, like, patience. And coaches that have done it like he has and called really good games and put great game plans together. They want to put all kinds of good stuff in there, and I think he's tried to fight that urge a little bit and then been patient with me.
11 days ago, did you expect to ever have this feeling again?
It's a good question. I didn't feel like it felt like I might not, to be honest with you. So, it's pretty special.
Does that enable you, does you let that sink in? Like, does a night like this give you
Yeah,
that?
for sure. When I talk to, my family, and, we're laughing about this, and just, that'll be a reminder, because I got so many people at home, not only, my kids, obviously, my wife has been doing this with me for so long now. My wife and my siblings and my dad and my mom, we're all still so invested in this. So when you talk to those people, and they're probably, one of their biggest emotions is probably relief. Oh my gosh, the game's over. We don't have to watch that anymore, and hang on to the edge of our seat. And then also that turns into excitement. So I can't wait to talk to my wife tonight and just hear it in her voice and all those things. And talking to those people reminds you of how special this is. Yeah.
When you look at this 11-day stretch one day down the road, what lesson do you hope it teaches your kids?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that hopefully they'll be willing to take on challenges, because I think it would have been easy to maybe say, nah, I don't want to do that. You want me to play this week? I don't know. I think that's one thing is take on some challenges, and you can't worry about the outcome. I see myself as a competitor. I see myself as a football player. That's what I do. The challenge, okay, fine, let me take it on. I see myself as a football player first. No hesitation. Let's go do this. So whatever you see yourself as, there's a reason for that, and you shouldn't hesitate when maybe something may look a little scary or anything like that. You should jump in and do it.
You faced Mike Tomlin and the Steelers so many times over the years, but what was it like proving him right with his comments earlier in the week, wondering why you were traded here?
Listen, I have so much respect for Mike and the battles that we've had, in Pittsburgh, in Baltimore. I played them last year in Indianapolis. I always find a way to play them. I love playing them. And I didn't really feel that way to begin with. I didn't love going into Heinz Field, and my rookie year they beat us 3 times, but those games against those guys, in my career, those games have been different than others, and just the physicality and the energy, and Mike's been doing it so long and has those guys ready to play every single week for so long now. Nothing but respect for him and how he gets those guys ready, and I love going against them. And when I look back on it all, it's the wins and the losses. I love all the games. Honestly, when I tell stories, a lot of the great stories come from some of the losses and the bad games you had. And with him and with them, there's plenty of those.
You've played the Steelers before many times. Was there a different feel to this one?
Well, there-
The stadium with this team?
For sure. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, it felt familiar. Like, I've played so many night games against Pittsburgh. Like, you very rarely would go to Pittsburgh and play a day game. I was actually saying to the guys today, I don't know if I've ever played a night game here. You guys could probably check that. But I feel like every time we came here, it was a day game. Maybe I've played a couple night games in Baltimore, but I don't know if I've ever played an evening game against Cincinnati like we're in this stadium.
I think your last game here, as a Raven here, might have been.
Might have been a night game.
These used to be hostile confines, and now they're cheering "Let's go Flacco" as you're heading down the final drive. How did that feel for you? For them to kind of turn the key so quickly to support you?
Yeah, well, listen, I turn it quickly, they turn it quickly. You're in it, like, I feel like that's what fans do. They want their football team to win. And it just so happens that I'm the guy right now that's behind the center. The same thing with players. Like, yeah, you're loyal to the guys that you're in the locker room with, and you're loyal to the game of football, and you really enjoy playing in these cities. I mean, there's such... I feel so fortunate to have been able to now play in so many different cities and just see the different people and how they react. It gives you a new appreciation for these fans. Like, I honestly never really loved coming here and playing. And now that was unbelievable tonight, and Cincinnati would kind of put it on us, I feel like, most of my career, especially when we came here. So I didn't necessarily love here. But now I get to have a new perspective, at least for tonight. And the fans, I mean... even just around town, they've been great. I mean, saying what's up or whatever. So they're obviously very quick to forget and happy to, that we're going through this, and so am I.
It's honestly good having them here for us. You know what I'm saying? Organization made a big jump on him. We believed in him. We got him. So he came in doing his thing and showing off for us.
What did it mean for him to go right back to you when you had that play that was really an incomplete on the sideline, and then obviously the touchdown right away, just going right back to you?
Well, we already had the next play in already, and they said it was incomplete, and we was already in the middle of calling another play, and then we just called it again.
Joe Burrow has obviously gone to you time and time again in clutch situations, but tonight, 23 targets and 16 catches, a team record. Did tonight feel different, special in any way?
I didn't even know I had 16 targets, if I'm being honest. I didn't even know I thought I had like 9, if I'm being honest. It didn't feel like that many.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Are you surprised at all at the way Pittsburgh played? You've played them so many times, and we've seen you do this to Baltimore, but we've only seen you do this to Pittsburgh. Anything the way that they played you surprised?
Got a lot of man. They doubled on third down for real. Try to mix it up a little bit, but they did exactly what we was expecting and hoping they'd do.
A lot of times, three-point sharpshooters in basketball talk about when they have like a heater that they're in a zone. What does it feel like when you're catching so many balls like you did tonight?
I really can't tell you, bro. I'm just really in the moment. It's like in the moment going on, and your adrenaline pumping. You either tired, you want the ball, or you want to get out. So.
Two days ago, you said that it felt like you guys were close to turning the corner, getting wins. What does it feel like to get this one?
That's what I was talking about, man. We know we was close. Last week we felt like we just figured it out about how we're gonna go about the Flacco and just the offense. Period. I think today showed what we're really capable of, and show how prolific this offense really could be.
Y'all bounced back right after the touchdown. You thought you had the touchdown, move against you, and boom, you come right back on I guess it's a day, right? What was going through your mind at that point? Did you think you had the first touchdown?
I mean, I knew I had it, but I didn't think I had it all the way, because when I fell, it got stuck to my hip. But NFL, every camera angle is every camera angle. They got everything. So, but
how'd you beat Ramsey?
On the touchdown?
Yeah, for the next play.
Just a little fade ball. He was very handsy at the top. Tried to get his hands off me last minute, and that's when the ball was in the air.
It's the first big game that UNC have both had this season. Is this kind of what y'all thought might happen when y'all decided to re-sign here?
This was supposed to happen. Exactly, yeah.
I mean, how good does it feel to finally have that after, this 7 weeks in, but to finally kind of have that feeling? What's that like, especially in a game like this?
It feels good knowing this is exactly what we preach about all the time. This is the reason why DBs, other teams go grab DBs to stop us. You know what I'm saying? And this is all we breed, as a receiver core. And today was the day.
If that's you, instead of T catching that deep ball inside the 10, how hard would it have been to slide down?
I would have slid.
It'd be hard to do that?
No. If you want to win, you're gonna slide. Yeah, if you want to win, you're gonna slide.
Is that, go back to what you just said, is that extra vindication Steelers kind of retooled that DB room from last year to this year, brought in some vets? I mean, how vindicating is that for that y'all were able to go out and win and the man that y'all did?
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what they was trying to do for us. But at the end of the day, you still got to stop everybody. We got Chase in the backfield. We had a great running game today. O-line did great in protection. Flacco was doing a great job just getting the balls out when he had pressured. So, I mean, today was just an overall all-around offensive unit game.
How good did it feel to finally play with Jesus for a good part of that game?
It felt good. But it was a little nervous at the end. Not gonna say nervous, but nerve-wracking at the end. Knowing it's getting down, it's 2 minutes under, and you got A-Rod that throws Hail Marys for a living, and it's always ended up a touchdown. So it gets a little nervous at the end.
What goes through your mind after they take the lead? You've had the lead the entire second half. They take the lead. You guys are getting the ball back. What do you think?
That's what they pay us the money for. At the end of the day, we got to make a play and make a play for the team. At the end of the day, that's why they got us.
After last week, y'all lost 4 straight. Zach said he felt like y'all were close. There was a lot of positivity. How much does that message kind of resonate over the course of the week when things have gotten tough over the years that Zach says it? I mean, how much does that matter to y'all as y'all get through a game? Through a week, I should say.
Yeah. I mean, it means a lot just from coming from him, but it also comes from the players too, not just Zach. At the end of the day, the players know what it takes. We got guys that are in there that are vocal, that are being leaders, that always speak up when we have situations like this.
When you heard Flacco, go for it, Jack.
How cool was it to see Joe Burrow on the sideline as well? Just a little energy shift there.
I didn't even know he was coming to the game, if I'm being honest. And at the end of the game, I told him, I said, I know you miss it, brother. We miss you. So, I know he's out there, want to be out there, but it's good seeing him again.
How big to be 2-0 in the division? I mean, you had it this morning when you wake up, and now you're 2-0. How big is that?
It's good. That means we're taking the right step forward, and we're on the right path.
Flacco's only been here for 9 days. How have you built such good chemistry with him so far after you were sick last week and then you had a short week this week?
That's a great question. I don't know, man. We're not really throwing the ball to each other at practice either, because it's like this week was fast, walk through reps. Last week was a little off for me. So honestly, you're just coming in being a veteran and just knowing the coverages and knowing what's his answer. I think that's his best reads.
Did you think this kind of offensive success was possible this quickly since you guys got Flacco?
I think we knew it last week. We seen the opportunities last week.
You said they did what you wanted them to do. Was that pretty much cover 2 and man?
Yeah, man. We know they was gonna put Joey on T and put Jalen on me, and we knew that. We was ready for it. We was gonna take advantage of those opportunities.
On one of Chase Brown's long runs, you sprinted down the field and made a big block. A lot of star receivers wouldn't do that. Why did you?
I got to give effort. I told Chase I got to give him more effort on my run blocks, just because I know some of the times I don't expect him to cut back to my side, and he does it majority of the time. So I got to give him effort more.
Ja'Marr, I think this is going to be I'm going to read it so I get it right. Through 9th game with 150 receiving yards, you passed Jerry Rice for the most in the first 5 seasons. What's it like to kind of hear your name kind of in that conversation and pass a guy like Jerry?
It's cool. I don't even really know what I would never know what that is until y'all tell me at the end of the day, So it's a cool opportunity hearing it, man, but I still got a long way to go, and that's the goal, to get a Super Bowl and a gold jacket.
Jerry's got a ton of records. Is that growing up something that you've thought about, and kind of the numbers that he's put up over the course of his career? How much of it?
No, if I'm being honest, no. Yeah.
Second game with at least 14 catches this year. And you said you felt like you had only 8 or 9. Did it feel different maybe compared to that Jacksonville game when you had 14?
No, not really. You know, I know the only game that I felt like I had a lot of passes was the Cardinals game, the AZ game, but that game and this game didn't really feel like I had a lot.